Hello!
Welcome to the ST62. This is the newest of the Clan Wars reward tanks that you can get your hands on by playing maneuvers. This has an inverse auto-reloader, which is the best kind. It has a pretty good gun and it has a pretty good turret, but the hull armor is basically paper. In this video, this is going to be a little bit of an overview of how the tank is performing for the past 30 days on the EU server, while also then going to some games with a variety of different loadouts. If you've watched any of my other videos on these tanks, where I've been going through each one of the Clan Wars reward tanks so far, then you know the drill. So sit back, relax, get yourself a snack, and let's see what the ST62 is all about. So for the past 30 days on the EU server, the ST62 version 2 has only been played for nearly 49,000 times. The average win rate of the players that are playing it is 54.5%, and the actual win rate is 54.7%, netting it a positive 0.19% win rate difference. If we sort by DPG, you'll see that it is the third highest, just above the 907 but below the E6. And to be honest with you, that's pretty fair, because I don't think it is as good as an E6, but it is better for the randoms than a 907. In competitive scene, completely different, 907 is king over this thing. But for random battles, considering that you have a little bit better gun depression and you have that inverse auto-reloader at your disposal, definitely nicer to play than a 907. If we look at this from Marks of Excellence perspective, you'll see that the SD62 version 2 sits at third for the Marks of Excellence for medium tanks. It has 5,160 average combined that you are going to need to go and free mark this vehicle, which again is just above what the 907 is, but below what the E6 is. As you can see, if we open this up to the whole of the tier 10s, there is obviously like the Chief and the MBTB, which are on super test, so then kind of irrelevant for this list. But we got the VKK being at the top. It's just overtaken the E6. So the E6 has actually come down quite a bit since my last video that I made. But around about 5.8 for those two. Obviously the Hurricane sits on its own. But you're looking at, say, 5.8 for the absolutely highest, and then as you drop down to the Chief, 5.5, 5.4 roughly, and then you're going to about 5.2 for the ST62 version 2, along with the 116 F3. Interestingly enough, though, the Manticore sits in here at 5.3. So, yeah. Imagine if it was a reward tank, how high the mark requirements would be. So now that we've got an idea of how people are playing this vehicle, and they are playing obviously very, very well, to be expected with Clan Wars reward tanks at the end of the day, let's now run through the setup of the vehicle. To start out with, we're going to look at the equipment. I'm going to be using turbo, vents, and stab. However, the turbo can be swapped out for basically whatever you want. I think that you should keep the stab and you should definitely keep the vents on this vehicle, although maybe you could ditch out the vents for, say, hardening, turbo, and stab. It's up to you at the end of the day. But you could really replace this turbo for hardening, you could replace it for IAU. It doesn't really matter too much. If you feel like you're getting set on fire a lot, then obviously experimental hardening can come in very, very handy as well. So you do get quite a bit of leeway with the equipment choices on this vehicle, and you can mix and match it to how you really like. Running through the crew skills very, very briefly, we have the commander, the gunner, the driver, and then the loader. Okay, so for our first game, we are on mines. Obviously not the best of maps to be on a tier 10. You know what? I'm actually going to go all the way out to the left. I usually like to sit here to start out with and just try and snipe this, but I'm going to try something a little bit different. We're going to try and get a little bit more impact into this game, and it's not great that we got spotted. We've obviously messed up here, where we didn't take the long route, and we did get punished for that by one shot there from the Vickers. But we're going to take the long way around from here, and we're going to set up where this bat chat is, because this bush actually got changed in 1.28.1 or whatever it is. I can't remember exactly. What update are we even on at the moment? I don't know. Whatever update it is at the moment, it got changed. So you now have a hole down with a bush, because yeah, you needed that. But the hull armor on this tank really is pretty paper. Like, there's not really any armor regarding the hull for this tank, and no matter how you try and angle it, yes, you can get some angles which you can semi-side scrape with, but if they know what they're doing, they're gonna kill you. Like, every single time. There's not really a tank that will ultra struggle against you if they can see your hull. And all that you really need to do while that bat chat dies, I'll just briefly show you, is just shoot directly wherever you're looking. You see how it kind of is very, very sloped at the front here? Wherever you're looking is basically an easy pen. I think you only need around about 200 pen to go through this, which at tier 10 is basically everybody. Okay, Vickers is still up here. The Batchat's died, which is very, very good. I'm a little bit worried. I'd love to be able to shoot this E100 here. I might be able to get a shot on him, actually. I can. Okay. So we're just going to aim for the side here. And of course, the best feature about this is that it's an inverse autoloader, or auto-reloader I should say, so that we can just spam out the shots. It doesn't matter if we, fully clip out, because the first shot is the fastest one available to us. I wonder if this Vickers is going to try and continue going. Doesn't appear to be. I'm a bit worried about pushing up, because as you'll see on the map, everybody might start pushing down to here. So what I'm going to do is just ignore this side for now, and just see if I can get some shots on this bat chat. Because there might be an opportunity to do so here. I mean, there is a shot. I just don't know where... Where did I just see that? About there? Also the E100, which isn't coming out at the moment, but we should be able to get a shot at him in a second. Okay, right, so we can shoot there. Very nice. Very, very nice. The accuracy on this gun is fine, I think is the best way of putting it. It's not great. It's not amazing, but it's fine. What do you expect for a Soviet medium? Like, no matter what the stats say for Soviet meds, like the K91, you could say that it's the best accuracy out of all of them, but it means nothing because half the time it goes wherever it wants to go. I don't think we're going to have an angle at all on the E100, and the problem is that I don't want to push up with this because they could already be around here, lurking. We have no vision on this. So we have no info for where the rest of these tanks are currently. Which means that our job at the moment is a little bit awkward. I mean, what I might do is just go back to the base and just assess the situation because there's nothing that I can really do currently. We should just kind of sit tight, do nothing, and sometimes that's the best strategy to actually get good damage out of the game. Well, I mean, the E4 is, well, attempted to push and he's just taken a load of damage for it. But I mean, there's not really loads that, we can do currently. I mean, I guess we just sit here, we wait. We have okay camo. I don't know whether or not we get spotted. I mean, if the AMX is using CVS, we probably will. But like, this is what I mean. Like, you can't push this. The 261 has just killed the Tessac. The Vickers is... What on earth is going on here? 1, 2, 3. All of them in, which is absolutely lovely. We get to shoot again in a second. We just keep shooting. Maybe the E100 might spot us in a second. And now he's dead. Lovely. Again, just sitting at the back, we can just chill. Because mines is not really pushable. Yep. Especially at tier 10. Especially at tier 10. Okay, now that they've kind of semi-secured the mid. We've killed the E100. We killed the 780 that tried to push. We might be able to move up onto the hill in a second, but not quite yet. Hello, Griller. Oh, Vickers. I don't know whether or not he's trying to push the bat chat. It doesn't look like it. He's just going to be chilling behind there. The fact that the bat chat died, though, is not good. Vickers did take a lot of damage for that, though. Put one in. Maybe we get lucky. Doubtful, but it's always worth a try. Right. So the M60's still on the hill. I don't know what the AMX is doing. The problem is that we can't go up to the hill because of the 268 as well. Like, the 268 still being here is a bit of a problem. Because this can really... You don't want to take a 750 alpha damage shot as you're going up the hill, especially when you can get clipped out by the AMX and then a shot goes in from the M60, you're just dead. So it's not really worth doing that. I am seeing if I can get shots of this 50B. The M60 dying is pretty good. I think it's time to try and go onto the hill. I'll ask the E4 if he wants to come hill. I know the object is here. We didn't actually spot it. One into him. We just need to get down behind here now, out of the way of the object. Lovely. And now, hopefully, we just wait until we go unspotted. We just chill here to find out what's happening. So the Ho-Ri has actually moved around. The 50B is probably still here. And I can't really do much against the 50B, if I'm honest, because, yeah, that's this guy's dead here and I can't really peek that. The problem is that I don't know if the 50B... There shouldn't really be anyone at the back. Now that I think about it, so I should be able to just clip this. I should be able to clip the 268. We can kill the 268 for basically nothing in return. Do you know what? It's worth just trying to get this kills. There we go. And then we just back off. Lovely. He is now dead. One into you. Lovely. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. And then maybe we can spot the Vickers. We may have slid off the rock. It's fine though. Listen, I meant to do that. I don't know what you're on about. I didn't fall off. Shush. 50B is -2, which means that we can now just push this, and he should be dead. And he is out of ammo. On reload now. One more into him. And we can just have a nice little bit of farm at the end of the game here. Nice. Very, very nice. So 5,081 damage, and we get 1.2k assistance. Apply. And we even get tank sniper. Very nice indeed. So yeah, that really does show that sometimes the best thing is just to sit, wait, look at what's happening with the game, and then you can go and make the play. Like, I was fully ready to take the shot from the 268, because it shouldn't really be too much of a problem. I can then just go and kill the MX, and then we win the game from there. Like, we had, what, 2,000 damage before we went on the hill? And then we quickly cleaned up afterwards. Okay, so we're now on Redshire. We are using, obviously, the Peasant loadout now. Because, yes. Loads of people use this on Clan Wars of War tanks. I mean, to be fair to you, this is one of the tanks that I really don't like going loads and loads of gold, because the standard rounds are usually just the better option for this tank. Considering APCR and heat. And as you're a medium tank, it's quite nice to just use the APCR. It's more than good enough for the pen, and it also has lots and lots of shell velocity as well. So, yeah, this is one of the tanks where it's nice considering that you have the inverse auto-reloader where you can actually switch shells, etc. But most of the time, you probably want to be using the standard rounds for the vast majority of targets. I wanted to see whether or not we can spot anyone at the back, but we are not spotting anyone there, so I'm going to fall back again. I might go around to the castle and see what we can do over that way. I mean, as I move around here, the vast majority of tanks are actually over the other side. So the vast majority of them are going to be here, and then we have like a few here maybe camping. So I don't know how effective we are going to be over this side of the map, considering that. Also, trying to push from the castle was not a fun experience. Oh. He's had a lot of fun. Leo 1 and the Progetto are over here, like, countering us, so... And a Jagdpanzer. Okay, that's, yeah. Not really what I was expecting. I do feel a little bit useless at the moment. But at the same time, we need to remember, sometimes doing nothing is the best thing to do, especially on this map where you can't push. Because if you try to make a push, there's no option at the moment for us. What we need is this to get spotted, and then we can put some damage in. Do we have a light? We do. So the RHM is still in the mid. Yeah, that's fine. He'll do the spotting. I think he's going to spot up the top more than anything currently, so... You know what? I might be able to get shots on this Leo. Three for one is a very, very good trade. As long as we keep it 3 for 1. Again, we just need to wait until we're unspotted, then we can move back in a second, because I don't want to get shot by these. So we should be unspotted now. We can then pull back from here. And then start to fire on these again. Once again, reset. We just wait. We just see what's going to happen. And then we'll play from there. I mean, if we can somehow get this Tessac killed, that would be great. But I don't see a way at the moment. I think if he goes there, I can shoot him. We also need to be careful of the Jagdpanzer. There's like, keep one eye on the minimap, one eye on what the Tessac's doing. Will be good. If we do get spotted, instantly blinding this bush will be great, because chances are they're probably there if they're actually spotting me. I'm not too sure if he goes back here, if I have a shot. I do kind of have a shot there. It was worth taking it. The Jagdpanzer is, I don't really know. If he fires, he's dead. But I also I don't want to take the 1,000 alpha shot, and neither should this guy. So it's best just to sit here and wait. If you don't need to take damage, don't take damage. The good news is that the Tessac died though during that. So now that the Tessac's dead, they don't have any vision or as much vision. This E50 just needs to chill. He doesn't need to push anywhere, do whatever. Just relax. They're just as stuck as us at the moment. Progetto pushing up as well. Right, now the Jagdpanzer is low. Wow. Please, Pan. Thank you. I don't know why the E50 peaked. Like, he doesn't need to. This is the thing. Like, the E50 really died for no reason, but you don't need to peak this. We get a spotting on this, which hopefully maybe someone can shoot it again, because they were shooting him earlier. We also need to be aware that there's still the Leo behind them, and I don't know how much health the other Progetto has. Oh, they're both low. Okay. So they're both relatively low. One has one shot, one has 600. And they are in platoon together with a UDES. The UDES is over the other side of the map, but that's where it's last spotted. One into the Lion. This isn't actually too bad. People are pushing up a little bit too far, which doesn't make sense, but overall this is actually fine, because from sitting in this position, we actually have a Hovey 3 at the back. We have the Leo and the 50B that can help me for anyone at the castle. So we're actually pretty secure from here. Hello, Progetto. Now, the problem is that he kind of needs to die, because he's proxying me at the worst kind of point. The chances are his mate is going to be around the corner there. So do I just go and just try and kill his mate? I've taken a shot for... I shouldn't have taken that shot. That was not very well played by me. I shouldn't have taken the extra shot, but I should have just waited until I was fully reloaded. However, we now own the castle, which is very, very good. Although we bled a lot for it. We should have waited. We should have just stayed behind the wreck until such time as we had the extra shell loaded. Then we could have just farmed him for free. But I mean, we were correct that his mate was there. I'm also just going to just wait a little bit, because there's not really much point of me pushing anywhere currently. I can't really go back, because if the Lion is up the top, I then get spotted, I'm dead. This is a little bit of an awkward situation now. Also, artillery could probably just blind this. The Lion is up the top. This is what I mean. Like, you peek somewhere and you just go... You just can't really do much. Because you will never spot them, and they'll just spot you and put one in each time. I'm hoping the Leo actually spots. I don't think he spots anything from this side, though. 50B managed to run away. He got spotted for it, though. I mean, the 50B isn't exactly a stealth tank. Do I get spotted for that? I don't get spotted for that. Okay, but there's still another Lion over here. Oh, no. Okay. All three in. He's then dead. And you know what? We need to push forward so that we're out the line of sight of the artillery as well. It opens me up to anyone over there, but, you know, you have to make do. Now, I am a little bit worried that the lion is going to come for me. Yep. Like clockwork. And now I'm just going to... Oh, I'm just going to fully run away. The UDES might spot me, but we're just going to run back. We're out of the way of danger now, so... There's the UDES up there. Hopefully he can die. The AMX M4 is a bit of a problem over that side, but I don't think he can really push anywhere. The lion dying... the lion didn't die. Oh, sorry, I didn't even realise. It was under the Leo, so I couldn't see. Like I say, the lion dying is very good for us, but the lion isn't actually dead yet. E3... Don't know where the UDES is though. UDES is over there, which is why we didn't go all the way up. Maybe we can get some spots on the AMX. Just a quick peek. Okay, the AMX isn't over here, unless he's behind that. But I think that he would have been killing the artillery if he was behind that, so... One into that, and he is dead. Now we just need to try and deal with the UDES. It's kind of interesting that he never spotted me. Oh, we're dead now. We don't have the gun depression to deal with that, but we should hopefully kill the UDES now. Oh no, the Progetto's low as well. He could die. Oh, the Progetto's going to die to the UDES as well. The UDES missed. Lovely. Okay. Auto-aiming at the UDES is not a great plan with AP, but sure. So at the end of that, only 3.8. By no means an amazing game, but a win is a win. Apply. Second on damage, not too bad at all. Now, before we go into the final game, as always, we're going to be talking about the field mods. Now, for this, we go for the left-hand side, then the right, and then for this tank, you can pick either. You could pick turbocharge tuning if you would like to, or you could pick reflective headlights if you want the camo. I quite like having the camo on this sort of tank, so we're going to choose that, and also it doesn't really matter too much because we do go 23 in reverse. As well as that, the suspension repair time is good as well. For number 7, go for the hit points on the left-hand side, and then for the last one, go for the view range on the left again. That way, with the setup we currently have, we have 475 meters view range, and we nearly have 40% camo. That is obviously using the tryhard loadout as well. Okay, so for the tryhard loadout, we are on Berlin, which is definitely not the best map for this tank, because, well, you can't really go and fight the heavies because you don't have any armor, and over the medium tank flank, it usually doesn't result in, well, epic games, does it? Yeah. This map is really just a heavy tank map, and if you don't have a heavy tank, then good luck. But we're going to go over to the right-hand side, we're going to see what we can do, and see what happens. We don't really have loads and loads of gun depression either to, yeah. I mean, we can put one to the Centurion as he's running up, but, yeah, that is not going to be a fun time. We don't have loads of gun depression to really, like, play from here, which is going to be a problem. You know what? We might switch to heat already. You don't have any more gun depression over the rear. You have like the same gun depression all round. So, yeah. Doesn't really matter what you do in this tank. You're always going to have the same 6 degrees. I don't really want to get shot by either of those. If I peek, I'm going to get shot by both. I mean, I can try and side scrape this. Doesn't really work in this vehicle, but we can try it. Nope. Oh dear. Right, well, it's going to be one of these games, is it? Good luck playing! Okay, there's nothing I can possibly do currently. So we're going to go around, and I'm going to just go to the heavy tank flank, because this flank is impossible to do anything. I will say, this is not looking good. Their light tanks have taken over the mids. This can't be pushed, can't do anything, and we're just going to go around to where the griller is to try and support the heavies as best as we can as they start pushing through. the thing is, these mediums have support from like the Foch B, the K91, all of this. Like, this doesn't really have any support, and most of the damage that I'm going to get out of this game is probably going to come from over this side. There's really nothing I can do for this side of the map. IS-7 pushing in. Don't actually have shots though. I mean, it's nice that we're kind of stopping the push, but at the same time, we're not really stopping the push either. Hello, EBR. I'm actually quite impressed that that even hit. Really? Well, I mean, we're getting as much as we can, but it's not going to be a lot. Oh my. Wow, this gun is not behaving so far. This is the problem, though, that I'm going to face, is that now I'm going to have to fight... Wow, okay. Well, very fun, man. Welcome to World of Tanks. You have 2 good games, followed by one just absolutely awful game. I mean, I don't really know... I suppose you're the bigger threat, to be honest. Actually, I should just go down here. Nah, there's nothing I can do. There's no winning this game. Like, the map is awful for the tank that you're in, and you have the losing team. You just lose. I think this game shows more than anything that equipment and consumables only go so far. The rest of it is mainly down to the tank itself, and the person obviously playing behind it. I'm by no means going to say that we played the game perfectly on Berlin, but I really don't know how to play Berlin in this vehicle. It feels like this map is just not suited to anything other than heavy tanks. And when you do get on maps like that, tanks like this do suffer. So only 2k damage, even though that we were using the full tryhard loadout. E6 absolutely farmed, but to be expected because that has gun depression and all the DPM as well. But for tanks like this, where you don't have any gun depression, you have DPM, but not absolutely loads. Yeah, you need the gun depression on this map, especially if you're going to be playing over on the medium tank flank. But overall, the SD62, I think that this is just a nicer version of the 140. And when I first got this vehicle, I was actually not that impressed with it, but it took some time to really kind of learn about it, learn about the kind of problems that it does have where you have no armor at all. Like, if you go into the mindset of having armor, you're going to do really badly. But if you go into the mindset of everything is going to pen me, you can then start to play around that. And I do think that this is probably the best Soviet medium tank for randoms at the moment in the game. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, whether or not you have the SD62 and what you think about it. Thank you very much once again to my channel members for supporting me and my content, and also making videos like this possible by voting for the tanks. Thank you obviously for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.